Hey gang, I'm Will.
And I'm Ryan, and welcome to December.
It's hard to believe how fast time is flying. We are nearing the end of our season because we're going to change it up this year just a little bit, and we're going to take off like January, February, so that during the summer,
right during con season,
we'll be able to deliver you some great content.
We're going to jump into some great content right now as we look at Inish in our Terrible 2
Minute Review.
Inish is an area control and card drafting game for 2 to 4 players from designer Christian Martinez and publisher Asmodee and Metago.
In the game, players act as Celtic chieftains who are trying to build up their clans and territory in order to become king.
To set up the game, players select a territory per player and place those down on the board to form the initial board, and then an initial Bren is selected.
A Bren is like a Celtic prince, in case you wanted to know that.
Yeah, or at least that's my understanding. Then the Bren, he chooses one of those first territories to place the capital token in, and then everybody takes turns placing down 2 of their clans one at a time.
After that, the Bren flips the Flock of Crows token to determine if play order will be clockwise or counterclockwise. Action cards are dealt, and then drafting begins.
The Inish card drafting mechanic has a small twist to it. Initially, everybody takes their hand, selects 1 card to keep, and passes the rest on. Then, with your new hand, you select 2 cards to keep and pass the rest on, and you just keep increasing the number of cards you keep until you're only passing 1 card on to the next player.
Players then check to see if they control any territories, and they take the advantage card that might go with that, and then the season phase begins.
In the season phase, players can either play a card, they can pass, or they can take a pretender token if they think they're going to win at the end of the round.
By playing a card, players can add new clans to the board, add new territories, add new buildings. They can move those clans around, and they can initiate clashes.
When a clash occurs, the players who did not initiate can take refuge in that territory's citadels. Then, starting with the initiator, each player takes turns either attacking, withdrawing, or performing an epic tail maneuver. When the player attacks another player, that player has to remove one of his exposed clans or discard a card, and the clash of clans continues until no exposed clans remain or the players agree to a stop early. The round continues until everybody has passed consecutively, then players turn in all of their cards except for epic tail cards.
So I think that covers the majority of it. There are some other fine-tuned elements in there, but let's go ahead and roll into the mechanic. Tell us what you think about the Inish mechanic.
Well, I like the card drafting mechanic because you really have to decide between whether you're going to keep that card you really want or force your opponent to take a card you really don't want, or also, just preventing your opponent from getting certain cards. Maybe you don't want to play them, but you really don't want your opponent to have them, that sort of thing. I like that the movement is all based off of the cards. You really have to plan out your actions during that card drafting phase and just look into the future about how you're going to go about doing some stuff. And then there's so much decision making. Just even in the ability to pass and then play again on a later round really adds some interesting situations. Why don't you tell us about your opinion on the theme?
I really do dig it. I think the art for this game is really, really fantastic, especially the territory tiles. Like, they've got this organic puzzle shape that fits together really cool. The artwork on it creates this really excellent atmosphere. The box art and the card art is kind of trippy, actually. It probably creates some nice shelf appeal, I'm sure. It's really interesting. It's pretty unique. The tiles in the game are big. Everything is big. The deed tiles, the pretender tokens, the cards, everything is oversized. I'm not sure why, but it's big and cool, I guess. There are minis, which are okay. There's nothing spectacular about them, but they're in there. The play and the owning the territory and being in this Celtic style is great. I think it works really, really well. Tell us about the replayability.
Well, I think I disagree with you on the minis. I think they're all slightly different, or at least there is some differentiation, and I appreciated that. So that might add to the replayability. One of the other things about this game that when you come to it and you understand the rules initially, you're like, okay, this game's kind of simple, but then as you play, you're like, this game has a depth of strategy. And as you begin to understand that depth and you continue to deepen your understanding of the game, it's just going to bring you back as you play more and more, just continuing, deepening.
To enjoy it.
Word.
The enjoyability. On this one, I think it's pretty good. I got smashed the last time I played this, and I don't think I have fully kind of mastered the strategy in it. You're right. You have to plan ahead what those cards are going to do, and it's very almost chess-like in, if I move this guy here and I play this card next, what am I going to, what path am I going to create to victory? Definitely lots of planning ahead. You can't just jump into this game and hope that luck will carry you through. It's definitely a strategy game. But it's enjoyable if that's your type of game. If you're looking for that little bit of meatier thought, then I think this is going to be right up your alley. Tantrum Mouse gives Inish 2 thumbs up.
They also select an initial Bren.
Sorry, I was supposed to jump in there.
We got the Bren. Good.
I didn't mean to, it just happened.
Like that, if no one wins, then the Bren flicks the flock of toes.
Toes?
Token.
The toes token.
So many words.
There's a flock of toes. Clans continues until everybody has either lost all of their exposed clans or... I'm sorry, I pronounced the word wrong.
I love that Ben just starts like trying not to laugh, but he's like... And then I'm not supposed to look at him. My eyeballs going over there every time.
I mean, are we gonna keep everybody?